goodness. What was that? What was that? Hey, good.
How's it, guys?
How's it, guys? Welcome to our Vlaries on our new couch. Our new improved Kajari couch.
Yes.
Thank you to all the wonderful contributions from some of the locals to make this couch happen.
Yes.
It is a bits and bobs of
Variety of cushions.
Cushions from a couple of different contributions from the locals, and we're very grateful.
We're so comfortable.
It's very comfy, yeah. And we're stoked to be next to Kajari. My tummy's making a noise. To be able to chill with her, because it's like, it's not cool. Oh my goodness, bless you. It's not cool to like be on a different level because there's not enough cuddles to happen.
And it's a great napping couch too.
Oh yeah, I had a nice nap yesterday.
Proper. Anyway, so we wanted to chat to you guys today because we've been getting so many questions, different variations of the same thing, but largely, how did you do this?
Yeah, so the questions are, we are Mika mostly is helping us stay as transparent as we can in the fact that not everyone is the same, and that there are different ways of going about things. But yeah, the questions that we're referring to is a lot of people, I guess, seem to think that there was this magical fairy tale thing that happened.
Yeah.
And that we somehow just landed in this magical world and magically,
Yeah.
And I know that that's not intentionally what is
Being thought.
meant,
Yeah.
but it always, I mean, we get a lot of, and it's great. We are living our dream, and we are living how we want to live, and that is, I guess, in some senses a privilege, but it is also a very hard choice, and it is a very hard life,
And it's a choice you have to make every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, so a lot of people are wanting to live the self-sufficient life, go off-grid, or think that they want to. I do think some people don't necessarily know all that entails. So we've been getting a lot of questions of, how did you do this? Did you buy the land? How did you afford the land? What made you decide to go tiny? People just want to know the secret.
Well, yeah, I think the main one has always been, because we've had similar questions in the past. The main thing has always been, how did you afford to do this?
Yeah.
How did you? We actually got someone say, how did you, as two young people in South Africa, afford to live this life?
Yes.
We didn't.
No.
It's not. We are not living a life more. I don't know how to say this. The life we're living is not different financially than a different lifestyle. It's just put together in a different way.
Yes. So because there's two ways of going self-sufficient and off-grid. You can go self-sufficient and off-grid by buying every single gadget that exists and setting yourself up with the most expensive everything. Or you can go self-sufficient and off-grid by changing the way you live so that you don't have to afford it. So that things cost, you're spending less money. You're not buying all the gadgets. You're living a simpler life.
I think the problem comes, or not the problem, where the confusion comes in, is that there is now a lot more than when we first started.
Yeah.
There is a huge movement, for lack of a better word, of people that are, because they got scared with COVID and everything, people making huge changes to be off-grid and self-sufficient.
I'd almost call it a trend.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that the mentality behind it is very much, I don't want to worry about Eskom, and I don't want to go to the shops, and that is what drives their decision. Now the problem with that is, if that is all that drives your decision, you're going to struggle, because you still are trying to maintain a very specific lifestyle, and you would like to have your exact same lifestyle without depending on anyone else, which is great, and you can do that. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying it's a very different vision to what, for instance, we had. And that's, I think, where the difference comes in, is that I think a lot of people are driven just by, like, they're annoyed by something and they're like, I don't want to deal with this anymore, so I want to go.
I want an easier version of my life.
It's not easier, first of all. Not at all. It's way harder, because you're physically, well, the way we do it, at least, we physically do everything ourselves. That is how we've chosen to become independent, by physically doing everything ourselves. So that's where...
And for us, it was about reconnection.
Yeah, for us it was about being closer to nature and
being responsible for everything that we have
and do.
Yeah.
And having our hands physically making the things that we find joy. I've always found joy in making my own things and doing things myself. And collectively, Mika and I now, everything we do is completely from scratch. And I mean, yes, we're rebuilding at the moment, so there's a couple of steps we want to get to, but we know exactly what we want. We know exactly what we want, and it isn't, our goals are not simply not wanting to rely on Eskom and not wanting to go to the shop. Our goals are way bigger than that. Our goals are to make a change and to make an impact and to be impact and to be intentional about what we do, and to have that. I chop wood every day, and filling a crate of wood is satisfaction for me. It makes me feel good, and I've contributed to our meal by doing that.
Yeah, if we don't chop wood, we can't cook.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
It's a very different kind of approach.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody.
That's, I think, the main reason we wanted to talk about this, is to maybe just remind people that everyone is different. Like, literally everyone is different. We could meet people who have done exactly what we are doing, have even an identically designed house, but there will be integral differences between us, because we are not the same people. And what I get annoyed with is for someone else not a big deal. For instance, Mika, there's things that in terms of the functionality of the house, I can't stand something being a certain way, so I change it. For her, she just carries on. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
So there's two different people already within one household.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea that we need to remember that everyone's different. So when you ask us how we do it, we're going to tell you how we do it, but that doesn't mean that's how you should do it. That just means you need to think about what you want.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then I think another part of the question is, how did we end up here? So a lot of people are looking for land at the moment. And it's very difficult to find land online, especially if you are not in a position where you have a lot of capital. So there's a couple of parts to this. Our journey to this point has been almost 4 years.
Yeah.
So
it started when
you can't just decide, hey, I want to go off grid and live self-sufficiently, and by next week you've got land and you're ready to go.
I mean, you can.
If you have a few million.
You can't say you can't, because you can.
Yeah,
you can. You can do anything that you want to do, but it also depends on where you are at in your life and what your resources are.
Yes.
Because some people actually can do that.
That's true.
But we couldn't.
So we've been on a journey. Those that have been following us for a while will know. And it took a lot of searching.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we also took quite a hefty knock, because our first move took all of our capital between the two of us, all of our savings. It even threw me into debt. So, and that was something we lost. So we never got that money back.
Yeah.
So
and that is also a reality.
Yeah.
It just, sometimes you will make choices that don't pan out the way that you think they're going to, and you just have to try and learn from them the best you can and move on. And where we are now is in such a incredible place. But I mean, if you want to finding this specific place took making a move that we had to then leave, being homeless for a while, going on a bicycle journey, so literally cycling from Port Elizabeth all the way to George and back over a period of 2 months.
Making a decision to just kind of see what the world has to offer for us, because we were really at a loss at that point.
Yeah.
But it was the best decision we ever made.
Yeah, the bike journey was amazing.
Please check it out, by the way, if you're new to our channel, and you want to get to know a little bit more about our this what we've done.
Yeah.
Go check out our bike journey. It was pretty cool.
And then making a decision to just get to know the local community and chat to some people and be open to any kind of options.
Yeah.
Not limiting ourselves to, we have to figure out a way to buy land. We're not in a position to do that right now.
Which was what our initial aim was, and it just felt like it wasn't working.
We felt hopeless, because how on earth could we afford to buy land? We have nothing.
We had then we had then been like, cool, so we have nothing. We don't have any capital. We can't buy land. We don't have, because we don't have traditional jobs that have salaries paid every month. We don't have the option of going to the bank and taking out a loan. Not that that's something I don't think we would want to do anyway, but those things weren't an option for us.
Yeah.
And they are for many other people. So there is that option, and cool, good luck. But you still need to get out there.
Yeah.
You still need to go and look for what's right for you. And you also can't just make a decision. You can, but you shouldn't just make a decision based on what's available.
Yeah.
You should make a decision based on what suits you.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a lesson that we had to learn. So we can tell you that from, if you'd like some advice in that regard. Definitely look for what is best suited for you as a person, not for you as what humanity expects of you, who you are deep inside you, how you feel when you are in certain places. Look for that.
So to answer a huge question, no, we don't own the land that we're currently living on. What we have is a long-term lease agreement. It's really nothing fancy. It's the same as a usual lease agreement, a rental agreement. The only difference is that instead of it only lasting for a year, it can be anywhere between 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, there are long-term leases that can be 10 years.
Yeah.
But the fact is that if you are not getting out there and talking to people, you're not going to find the right person who'd be willing to do this.
Yeah.
We were very, very I wouldn't want to say lucky, because we pushed quite hard, but we are very grateful for having met the right people to be able to do this with. And we are also, the way we also did it is from the get-go, we said we'd like to have the option in future of buying, so that we have kind of something to work towards and potentially see in our future, if that makes any sense, and see how we can make that happen.
Yeah.
But the point is having someone that you can have a conversation with, which is really hard, because we've been trying to do that for 4 years with every person, and people. You need someone who is open-minded, basically, because people are very people are scared. Actually, is the main thing. People are, and I'm sure for good reason. People are wary of doing things that put them in that put them in bind with something that they're not 100% sure they're going to be happy about.
So you're not going to go online to Property 24 and see land available for long-term lease.
You won't find it.
You're going to have to chat to people face to face, and also come up with an agreement. So we drafted our own lease agreement, but there are lots of templates online.
Or obviously, if you have the luxury of having a lawyer present, or someone that deals with it, which our other side does also have.
So you need to chat to people. You need to come up with an agreement that suits both parties and protects both parties. Yeah. But it's not difficult. It's not rocket science. It's just about a conversation.
It's a conversation and an agreement. That's all it really is.
It's very simple.
But be safe, and make sure that you are not uncomfortable with anything, and if you are, talk about it, talk it through. Yeah, once again, we're very grateful to have had someone that's open to talk to.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. But sorry, what did you want to say?
No.
Actually, no. Now I've
You
gone
forgot
blank.
yours.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that answers that question. And then another thing is there is a huge push to be debt free if you live this life, and that is a goal for us. It is. I think a lot of people feel like they can't do this unless they are debt free, and debt is not great, honestly. But the reality is, for some people, you don't have the capital. And you have to decide between never living this life because you don't have the capital, or finding a way to make it happen. And so, like we said, we've changed our lifestyle so that our lifestyle doesn't cost tons of money.
Well, we haven't said that really.
No.
We made a
Yeah.
huge change. We cut everything out. We got rid of fridges and freezers, which was a big one. Fridges and freezers were what was going to cost us the most, because we would need to have enough power to be able to power them, or gas to be able to run them, which we did in the beginning.
Yeah,
we had a
tried
gas
that. It was
freezer.
very expensive.
So we cut it out. We're like,
Yeah.
cool, let's see how we can do without it. And that's actually how we've started being so good at what we're doing now, is because when something doesn't work, we go, okay, cool, can we do without it?
Yeah. We don't have a car.
Don't have a car.
So basically what you need to do, well, here's my advice, is if you want to change your lifestyle, have a hard look at the things you can live without. Sure, some people really can't live without a car, but maybe you could. That maybe there are other things that you have in your life at the moment that could save you a lot of money if they weren't there.
Sorry, can I just add, not having a car doesn't mean that you don't
Go anywhere.
or that you don't drive, or
Yeah.
that you don't use cars.
Yeah.
The point is just, if you're in a position where you've got a lot of people around you who have cars, or in our instance where we're now in a little village that has everything we need right close by, cycling distance from it, that helps.
Yeah.
But also think about you know, chatting to people about having lift options, and if you're in a remote area and your neighbor goes to town once a month, you go with them.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to not have a car. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't have cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a huge one though. Also something you need to decide for yourself.
So making those changes, and a lot of little things really do add up to make a huge financial difference. And then, you know, so that helps. I think I've lost my main train of thought, but basically we have debt at the moment, but because of the way that we live, in the grand scheme of things, the debt that we have is very little compared to what most people would consider debt. For us, it's still huge, but we have a solid plan to have it paid off within the next year. And I think that if you have decided that getting a little bit of debt is worth it so that you can live authentically and live the way that you choose to live, make sure that you have a plan, and don't just go into it blindly and be like, I'll worry about it later. Because that's not smart, and it's not safe.
It's all a game of Monopoly at the end of the day. It's all plastic money anyway.
That is very true.
But yeah, if we've got some debt. Those of you that know, we've got a Back a Buddy page out. That page is specifically to help us finish building our house, as well as pay for some things that we already have built. But I am still busy building the bathroom, and I'm still busy building the workshop.
Yeah.
And we don't have all the materials we need for that to be complete. So if you would like to support us in that, please check out our links below. We've got PayPal, and
There's a
Back a Buddy.
PayPal link as well if you'd like to donate to us directly.
Or if you'd like to chat to us, we've actually had quite a few people that are keen to physically give us a housewarming present or whatever. Just chat to us. We appreciate you guys greatly for those little things. They make a huge difference for us.
They really do.
So yeah, I just wanted to say that because I didn't say it last time. I got a lot of flack for it. But yes, we don't necessarily like asking people for help.
Yeah.
But we did want to put it out there this time because it is something that we could use a little help with. But
I think we've said most of what we want to say. For those who don't know, we're in the Titicaca area. A few people have asked us that question, and really the big secret, you can ask lots of questions on Facebook pages and get people's opinions and advice, but at the end of the day, you need to sit with yourself and figure out what it is that you want. Because looking at other people's pictures and watching other people's videos and trying to emulate what how they've chosen to live, it's not going to make you happy. And it's
only
also
going to give you anxiety.
It's also not attainable. We've tried that. It's very difficult. And it leaves you feeling like you're failing all the time.
You can't live someone else's dream.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's not possible because you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
It's simple, end of story. You won't be happy because it's not yours. So it doesn't help. It doesn't help you look at everyone else's and go, oh, how do I do that? How do I do that? How do I do that? It does help to look at everyone else's and go, that's interesting.
That's a good
idea. That might be something I might be interested in. But if you try and apply everything, you're gonna have a really
There's
bad
a million
time.
ways to do every single little thing, and it's so important to know what you want.
That's actually one of the main ways we've learned to do things in a frugal way is when something needs to happen and we can't do it the conventional way, we look at literally every other potential option that we can. And I experiment all the time.
Frankenstein everything.
So if it doesn't exist, I sit and I stare. You will often see me in videos just staring at stuff. I told Mika we should start making little notes on it because that's what I'm doing. My brain is looking at the problem ahead and I'm going, I can't do this. So for instance, you need a specific part for something. We don't have the part. I don't have access to the part, can't afford the part. How can I make it with what I've got? And then I look at the thing and then I look at our stuff and some stuff that I kind of collect because I like collecting stuff. And I look at the thing and I see what I've got there and then I go, cool, I'm going to try do this. And then I try it and sometimes it doesn't work, but I try and then I try something else and then I find a way. That's one of the main things is to think outside the box, open your mind up. There isn't only just one way to do something.
Most of the conventional methods that exist were invented so that companies could make money off of them. So,
but at the same time, it's also mostly. I mean, it's marketing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, also there's a lot of stuff that was made for convenience.
Yeah.
Taking away the human ability to actually make things themselves. Everything we used to make everything ourselves. 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Nothing was bought really. we traded in food and
and skills.
Yeah. So you just need to tap in.
Yeah.
Because it's all
Open
there.
your mind and think. Meditate for a while and just think about it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But also there's so much, there really is so much information out there. If you're looking, rather look for something specific than going on to other people's stuff and seeing everything that they're doing and going, I want to do all of these things. Go think about what you want to do and then go look for different ways to do that. That will help you. So, yeah.
I think that's us for the morning.
Yeah, sorry, that was quite intense. I don't even...
Hope you guys have a great day or night or whenever you're going to watch this.
Yeah, I think the point of the story is there is no secret. You just get out there. Get up off of your bum and go look. Go look for things. Go travel. Get on a bicycle because I definitely could recommend that. Get on a bicycle and go to the next town on your bicycle. You won't believe how much you see.
Go for a walk even.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.